So today we're going to go through the different throwing positions and how to stand at the craps table. Hey, my name is Joe and this is my Craftsmaster dice shooting journey. Let's make it yours as well. So we're starting off at stick left 1 or 2, and that's if you're a right-hand shooter. And what you want to do is you want to keep your upper body and your feet square to the table as you set your dice, and then you pull them into position to get ready to throw. Once you're set, you're going to step your right foot back, and then you're going to brace your side up against the table. Brace your hand onto the chip tray, and that's to help stabilize your throw. Position 2 is also stick left 1 or 2, and this is where you're going to put your elbow on the chip tray. So just like in position number 1, what you do is you square your body up to the table, then you open your stance by moving your right foot back, and then you're going to brace that elbow up onto the chip tray to help brace yourself for movement. Position 3 is also stick left, and this is going to be our last stick left position. And that's where you have your elbow on the inside of the table. This is my preferred method of shooting. What I'll do is I'll square it up, I'll set the dice, I'll bring them into position, and then I'm going to switch my feet where I step my right foot back, and then my left elbow is going to sit just on the inside rail of the chip tray. And that's going to help pull me in super tight so I'm not moving, and that way I can concentrate specifically on the throw and to make sure that I throw a straight line down the table. Position 4 is our first position that's from the end of the table, and the first one's going to be our hand on the chip tray. So again, we're going to set the dice. We're going to be square to the table at this time. Once the dice are set, we're going to step our left foot back, and then we're going to get ready to shoot the dice. Position number 5 is where we actually have our elbow on the tray. So it's going to be the same thing as position number 4. We are square when we're setting the dice and pulling them into position. We're going to step the left foot back and keeping that elbow on the tray. That's going to help us secure ourselves, and our right side kind of goes up against the table a little bit. Position 6 is going to be our first stick right position, and again, assuming that you're a right-handed thrower. And we're going to start with our hand on the tray. If you look at this, I'm using an ice tongue grip. So again, we started square off, we step our left foot back and shot the dice. Position 7 is the same thing. Step our elbows on the tray. Position 8, this is going to be slightly different now. Notice in position 6 and 7, we were bent over just a little bit. Position 8, what we're going to do is, this is a 3-finger, so we actually need to turn a little bit more, and we need to stay more upright in order to get our shoulders in the proper position. Position number 9, also 3-finger position. This is where we have our elbow on the chip tray. So again, step that left foot back and shoot the dice. So let's go through 7 different tips that you can use when positioning yourself at the craps table. Number 1, make sure that you choose a stance or a position that's comfortable for you and that allows you to throw the dice in a straight line down the table so it hits the back wall in a square manner. Number 2, notice that I stay square to the table when I'm setting the dice, and then I pull the dice into position to where I'm going to be having them before I shoot the dice. And the reason I do that is so that way everything is consistent no matter which position that I'm throwing from. From there, it allows me to put myself in the frame of mind so when I switch my feet, I switch gears and I'm ready to shoot the dice. So leading into number 3, where we switch our feet and we get into that frame of mind where we're going to shoot our dice. So we're switching our feet, and what we're doing is we're looking for our target down at the end of the table. And we'll get more into that and our landing zone in a future video. Number 4, you're going to keep your stance either open or square at all times when you're at the table. Try to find what's comfortable for you. Most of the time, though, you're going to start off square and I'll go into an open position. Open position means that you're opening your body up to the craps table rather than closing it as you're ready to shoot. Number 5, using your hand or your elbow on the chip rail, or like I do is I pull myself in tight with my elbow to the table, allows you to adjust the height of your body, which will ultimately adjust the height of your throw. And we'll get into that more in a future video about the height of your dice and how far above the table it should be for the distance away from the back wall that you're shooting. Number 6, brace yourself. So you notice in every throwing position we have either our hand on the chip rail, our elbow on the chip rail, or in my favorite is putting my elbow on the inside of the chip rail, on the inside of the table, but somehow brace yourself. And that's so that way you can stabilize yourself so you're not shaking all around when you're throwing the dice. Kind of like, and I know some people are not into this, but kind of like shooting a gun. And if you're target practicing, you always lean up against something, either your elbow underneath or against something. So that way what happens is you stabilize your aim, you stabilize your path, you stabilize your target approach. And number 7, always do things in the same order. So I start square and then I stabilize my body with either my hand, my elbow, or elbow on the inside. And then I switch my feet. And I do everything exactly in that order every single time, so that way everything is consistent. Again, dice rolling is a random event, at least that's what everybody says it is. My goal is to try to systemize it, to try to make it so it's the same every single time. So that way, hopefully we can have, within some degree of accuracy, some kind of predictability. And we're gonna try to minimize that randomness. Kind of like John at Pro Craps does. He relates it to the game of golf. Teeing the ball off and hitting it down the fairway is extremely hard and difficult thing to do. And especially to do it in an accurate way. Now, just the smallest little detail, the smallest little change is gonna change the effect it's gonna have on that ball as you tee off, as you use your driver to hit it down into the fairway. Sort of like throwing a dice. Any little deviation from your pattern is going to affect the way that the dice leave your hand, how they go to the other side of the table, how hard, how far, all that type of stuff. So try to get this down. Again, start square, stabilize your body, switch your feet, find your target, and let her go. Hey, if you want to find out what the 10 steps are to the Craftsmaster Journey dice shooting method, make sure you click on the video on the right side there. My name is Joe, and this is my Craftsmaster dice shooting journey. Please make it yours as well. Leave a comment, subscribe, share, and like this video, please.